This is Robo Info. I'm gonna make another video of Zoomer the robot dogs, but not only Zoomer, just the Spin Master robot toys, to improve from the last video that I did, hopefully. Of course, first off is Zoomer. Zoomer was a 2013 robot dog. He was very popular. Everyone wanted him. Everyone did almost get him. He's a Dalmatian robot dog with digital eyes that has expressions, and he's a puppy. He's made by Spin Master. He's got 4 sensors. He's got a microphone for when you say his name, and a button on the back to make it do tricks. They charge on USBs, and they can speak 3 languages. Yeah, he's got on and off. I think it's English, Spanish, and I think it's English, French, and German, or no, it's Spanish, I think. I don't know. But they charge for about an hour. They have the Zoomer has a charging indicator in his eyes. When you press his head when it's charging, it'll show you what level he's at. Like right now I'm charging this one. This is my first one. It doesn't work as good anymore, but see, he's at the 3rd level. When he's all the way charged, it'll be at level 5. He takes about an hour to charge, and he lasts about 30 minutes. So we'll turn him on, and I'll start it. Oops. Basically, how you wake him up is you press his head, and you see question marks in his head. You're supposed to, the question marks in his head. You're supposed to give him a command. Just stop, Zoomer, just stop. So, and he has lots of, here, I'll turn him off again. He has lots of tricks. Like, he can do a lot. The chart he comes with lists some of the tricks he can do, but he can do so much more, and you're supposed to figure them out yourself, which I don't know how you do that, but, what you do is you wake him up by pressing his head. When you want to give him a command, press head. Zoomer, let's dance. See, it doesn't always understand. Zoomer, let's dance. The Zoomer Let's Dance is the most common favorited trick that he does. Okay, I'll redo that. Shut up. Zoomer, let's dance. Sometimes he'll land, sometimes he won't. I guess it depends on the Zoomer. This is actually, that's how I'll show more of the tricks, but, yes, he was released in 2013. The first ones weren't made very well. They broke a lot. Like, wires would pull off the wheels because, like, it's so flexible that it pulls wires off. Like, the wheels would stop moving. Or they would have torso problems. But this is the 2014 model, not Zoomer 2.0. This one came out in like April or March. It's the same thing as the old Zoomer, just it's updated. It works better. Like the old, these dogs can explore around like for 2 minutes and they'll go to sleep. Like the older ones, they didn't do too good at exploring. They sort of sometimes sat there the whole time, just wiggling around, not really moving. And when they did, it seemed like they sort of went in circles and didn't move as good. Well, this one moves really well. They move good now. They move straight. Their motors are better. The older ones had weaker motors, I think, and the newer ones have strong motors. So the new ones work a lot better now. They don't have quite as much problems, it looks like to me. And it seems like they'll actually last longer now, because the first ones did not last long. There was lots of returns. They went out of stock for a long time, and they came back because there's also one called Zoomy, which is white and pink, which she has different tricks than Zoomer. Like Zoomer, you can. Toys R Us also has a purple one. I'll show you more of the tricks here. Zoomer. I'm showing you the bag command. Basically, to do that, you just say Zoomer. Zoomer. Because it doesn't work when you say Zoomer bag. Zoomer. See? Zoomer, ping pong. See, you have to like talk really loud or like talk right in the microphone because he doesn't hear very well. Zoomer, ping pong. You use your hands. And yeah. I think you guys, Zoomer's a little old, so I'm sure you know most of his tricks by now. I don't have to chart that list of the tricks he can do because I haven't had them all written down. But I know what all the tricks he can do though. But I can't find the chart. But yeah, he's like a real dog. He'll play dead. He can get back up. He'll pee. See, look at how much he's roaming. The old ones didn't work like that. They just pretty much sat there all the time. But the old ones, if you have the old Zoomer and it doesn't really roam, there is a way that you can make it roam for a little bit. You can do this. Zoomer, get lost. That puts it into roam mode. Zoomer, cluck like a chicken. Zoomer, cluck like a chicken. Oh my god. Zoomer, cluck like a chicken. It's not even see, it doesn't work all the time. Zoomer, cluck like a chicken. Zoomy can meow like a cat. I don't have Zoomy. I could have, but I didn't get it when it was in stock. Zoomy also has sort of more different features than Zoomer does, so Zoomy and Zoomer are actually different. It's not just colors, they actually do different tricks. So, let's see what else can I show you. I don't know. I think you guys know most of the tricks. Tries to play them. Yeah. He also can track you and follow you, but it's like doesn't work too good. See his eyes follow you. So he's an interactive puppy robot. Oh yeah, Sinasan. Zoomer, Sinasan, and then he can see. And then you can press this to make him go through tricks. Also, Zoomers were always different. Like I think the newer ones now are all the same. But the old ones, they were different. Like, you couldn't get one that was identical because the older ones had so many different spots. Like, some had spots on their heads, as you can see. But there were some that had spots right here and on the head. Some that only had spots on the head. Some that only had spots on here and all around the body. Some that had different spots around the body where it was in different patterns. Some of them had spots on the head, mic, and the vision sensors. Some had spots on this and the vision sensors. I mean, there are so many models. There were some that only had spots on here and all around, not on the head or mic. I mean, they changed them so many times. It's like every week they came up with a different spot pattern. And some of them with the spots that were on the head, body, or back, and sensors, they were so-called prototypes. But, I mean, yeah, there actually saw one on eBay that had no spots at all. It just, no spots. It was just white. I mean, it had black, I guess, around here, but it was just no spots. So yeah, all the Zoomers, the older ones, every one of them was different. It seems like they were like they were all unique. Oh, I'm unsure why. I've always asked why they changed them, and I've never really gotten a straight response or answer why they made so many different patterns of spots on them. To some people that doesn't matter, but to me I wonder why. Because that just gets you into thinking collect them all in my world. But I guess now we'll move on to Shadow. The Zoomer 2.0s did come out, which Shadow, Bentley, and Zoomer 2.0. They're all the new 2014 models. And they are the same as Zoomer, except Bentley, this is Shadow. I think he's a German Shepherd. Bentley is a Beagle. And Zoomer 2.0 is still a Dalmatian, only he has white and black spots on his ears. And like a little heart design down here. But the prototype Zoomer 2.0 was different. It had white wheels and white tail. I wish they would have kept it the same. And, I mean, I wish they would have kept it white wheels, white tail, and white ears. But no, they put it black again. So to some people, they might not know the difference. But Zoomer 2.0 has twice the amount of tricks Zoomer did. I don't know if Bentley has the same tricks as Shadow because they don't have it, as well as Zoomer 2.0. I don't know if they're all different or just all the same, just different breeds. They also have suppies, but they don't move or anything. But yeah, these ones are all the same. Of course, they work just as good as Zoomer because it's 2014. They're improved still, so he's actually louder. He has different tricks though. They have new tricks. These new Zoomers, they did make new tricks for him. He can do all the tricks that Zoomer does, like Let's Dance and Beg and all those, I think. But even though his name is Shadow, he still responds better to the name Zoomer, as they didn't change his name when you talk to him. I'm getting to the, his batteries are about dead because he's yawning a lot, so I have to hurry. Okay, secret tricks. What you have to do is you can't just do this, like, let's try to get him to... So let's do this one. Show me the money. Shadow, show me the money. See, he doesn't work that way. Shadow, show me the money. Okay, what you have to do is hold his head down for a couple of seconds. And he'll do that bark, and his question marks will be upside down, and that enters the secret tricks. Or the special tricks, I guess. Ping pong, that wasn't one of them, but... Shadow, show me the money. And it doesn't work too well. The new tricks don't work too well. Yeah, so lots of new it says count me down. It'll count down from 10. Let it rip. Back it up. It explores as well, of course, because it's the same as Zoomer. It can go fish, or it shows a fish swimming by in its eyes. I mean, its newer tricks don't really have much movement. It's more of eye expressions. And I don't know if Bentley has the same secret tricks or special tricks as he does, but I plan on getting them all and see. Like, I'm planning on still getting some more Zoomers, and like Bentley and Zoomer 2.0. Also, Zoomer 2.0 comes in a purple spotted color as well. Oh. But he also has the trick thing where you can make him do a special trick without going through training. They don't really do the play dead function. Chase your tail. Okay, I'll just help you up. Shake off. So yeah, that's how you do it. That's the difference between him, is that he has new secret or special tricks that you hold down his head for 2 seconds, and then the upside down question marks pop up, and then I think I highly doubt all the commands are in here, because remember, you're supposed to figure some out yourself, and they don't want you to know them all. And I don't know what all he does. The only reason I know what Zoomer does is because Kevin found sites that listed them over time. So, because the inventors posted them. So, Shadow, we don't know all the tricks yet that he can do. Just some of them are in there. And I don't have a list. I have the checklist that comes with him has the same tricks that Zoomer has. So he doesn't have any special tricks on there that he doesn't do. So we have to try and figure them out. Like, some of them in here are special, but it's with the eye expressions. But there's probably more. Because remember, each of these have twice as many tricks as Zoomer does. So he has a lot more that we don't know about. And then next is Zoomer Dino, which they retail right now in 6 different colors. Green, Kmart exclusive green, which is different, which his name is Bone Cruncher. Target has a blue and white one named Spike Tail. Toys R Us has a black one in a tin box called Onyx. Kohl's has a red one called Crimson, which comes with a chicken leg. The green one at Kmart comes with a bone. And then there's a purple one. I'm not sure where it's at yet, but its name is Sparky. Zoomer Dino is a balancing robot from Spin Master. 2 wheels. The legs don't move, the wheels do. He has a moving head, moving mouth, color-changing eyes that indicate what mood he's in, moving tail. His prototype version didn't have pupils. Some people would prefer that they didn't give him pupils because they said it killed the realisticness in him. So people prefer that they didn't give him pupils. That's different from his prototype version. And this one, the real one, he never shuts up. The prototype one was quiet, but this one just talks non-stop. So yeah, and I already have a review of him, so you can look at that. But I can turn him on and show you some of the things he does. He charges for over an hour and lasts about 30 minutes. Also, Shadow, the difference between, another difference between the 2.0s, Shadow, Bentley, and Zoomer 2.0, they're different from Zoomer's charging because when you charge them, they don't have the indicator. They have a light under here. It's red, and when it's charged, it turns off. Zoomer 2.0, Shadow, and Bentley all have that. Zoomy has the same thing as him, though, where it shows the status. And when he's charging, his eyes are red. When it's charged, they're green. So, I'll turn Boomer on. This one, you don't talk to him. You don't go, Boomer, do this, do that, or something. It's just remote controlled, or you play with it with your hands that you interact with it. See, he balances the whole time. His motors move a lot. His motors seem like they would quickly die because he's constantly in motion. And see, he never shuts up. So, see, here I am playing with him, and he changed right now he's curious because his eyes are blue. So he'll sniff me or listen to commands. He also doesn't work on carpet. It'll mess up his gyro. See, he's struggling on carpet, so you want to use him on hard material because his gyros will give up on you. You can see, and you can't have anything in his way. Nothing, not the slightest thing. You have to have a free environment for this robot, or else he will not function. He can get up by himself, though. Sometimes he fails. You don't want him smashing into a wall because he could break his tail. So you got to be careful with that. Sometimes he doesn't support himself, and then he goes flying. He'll roll over on his back and smack into something, and then he'll break, and you don't want that. This right here, this joystick, controls his head. But when you hold down the brown button and push it, it controls which direction he's going in. And that looked really weird, but you can also make them get back up by pressing that green button, which also puts him in the angry mode for like 10 seconds, and then he's happy again. So like you hold down this brown button and move the joystick, that controls where he's going to go. We can control him. And I think this is the best thing about him, this is the only useful thing about the remote. Other than that, this remote, you don't need it. but it's, with MIP you can control it with the iPod app. But with him, you can control it with the remote. And see, look at how he was barely touching our speed and he fell. Again, it has to be environmentally free. There can't be any obstructions whatsoever, or else he's not going to work, and he's not the robot for you if you have a messy home like this. Also, there's something special about this driving mode is that, look at what happens when I just slightly push it up. He goes forward slow. Okay, let's back him up slowly. I'll turn him around. Look what happens when you push it full blast. It just goes smashing. So, what I like about that is they put a speed control in the remote, and which I think that's very useful. I mean, it's a good thing they didn't make it the same speed no matter, like, if I push it like this, it's a good thing it doesn't go full blast, because I don't want that. I want to be able to have him to have speed command in him, so, because if I was pushing him like this, I wouldn't want him to go full blast all the time, so it's a good thing they put speed control in it. It makes it really easy to control. See right there, I pushed full blast, so he went. Also, he doesn't really roam like Zoomer does. He just moves around. Most of them have problems with the roaming, like they'll just back up and they won't go forward. Boomer doesn't really go forward in general, but sometimes he does. He'll fart and burp also. But see, he's in his autonomous mode. He's not really roaming. He's just moving around. And making noises. He doesn't roam. See, he moves a little bit. But he eventually stops. See, and he goes here again. This is where he started. He didn't get anywhere. He went, but then he came back. So, he doesn't really roam. And you can make him mad by pulling his tail. Or you can make him mad by pressing the angry button on the remote, which it looks like I can't make him mad right now. Oh, jeez. Oh, come on. Okay. I need you to come over here. Oh, jeez. Are you serious? Yeah. His sound effects were also different in the prototype version as well. There was also a blue one that wasn't released in the Toy Fair as well, or of the prototypes. And I'm guessing the blue one is the official prototype colored, because this green one's like the prototype one, or this green one's similar to the one that was in the Toy Fair, but it's not identical, because the one in the Toy Fair had more white stripes on it. It was darker and shinier, and it looked smaller. Boomer is bigger than I expected. He's bigger than the Zoomers. And again, he didn't have the pupils. This button is the chomp button. See? He'll chomp. You can also put him into You can also put him in the tracking mode, where he'll track you here. See, and then he sits down. The head on mine is really messed up. The head on mine is sort of broken. It doesn't turn this way, as you can see. It doesn't turn that way by itself. It turns this way, but it doesn't really turn back. See, and so this is tracking mode. When his eyes are purple, you can push it, or there's something else you can do to get him in this mode, which I don't know what. But so yeah, that's pretty cool. It disappoints me that they said they were gonna make him have a yellow mode and a pink mode, which I'm really disappointed, because they said they were gonna do it, but they didn't. The yellow mode was supposed to be a cautious mode, where he's careful about things, which would be interesting to see. The only mode he actually stays in is this happy mode, so he doesn't even switch modes from time. He only switches mode. See, he changed to blue now, but when I take my hand away, he'll turn back to happy. And when I make him angry, he'll only be angry for 10 seconds, and he'll be happy again. So he doesn't really have personality. He only has one personality and behavior that he stays in. So it's not like he does much. They just didn't program enough. I don't remember what pink mode was going to be, but they probably said somewhere in the Toy Fair what it was supposed to have. And they said that programming wasn't finished, but ever since the prototype, it's the same thing, just they put in more sound files to make it much more annoying and put pupils. That's the only difference. They didn't finish the programming or the emotions. They just put the sounds in. Because it was supposed to have more personality and modes than this. That's the biggest disappointment about Boomers. He barely does anything. They said it's the most realistic dinosaur, which is true and not true, because a real dinosaur wouldn't have this limited amount of functions. Because he's just repetitive. He does the same thing over and over. I mean, if he was more realistic, I think he would have more personality than just happy. Because again, I'll try and get him angry here. There we go. Watch. See, here we go. Oh. And he's happy again. See? He doesn't stay in angry mode. It's just a little. It's just a program. It's not even a mode. That doesn't even count as a mode because he doesn't stay in it. He stays in happy. So he really only has one mood in him. So really, they didn't do much with him. They could have done so much more. That's what makes him bad. I think Zoomer's ratings are at least a 9 out of 10 because he did have problems. So yeah, Shadow I guess is the same because they do a lot. They do a lot of tricks. But Boomer is a 5 out of 10 because he doesn't do very much. He looks like he's more breakable than the Zoomers because yeah, he dances too. Because mine has a couple of flaws, my Boomer. They're not too noticeable, but it still has flaws. And more flaws than Zoomer got. I mean, I've only used him a total of 2 hours now, and he's a little bit flawed. And he's just... Zoomers lasted a lot longer than that. I've used my Zoomers for probably a total of... Well, not Shadow, but I've used him probably a total of 4 hours, maybe. I used him a lot, this one. But, yeah, that's ratings for Boomer. Zoomer, I don't think they still make the regular one anymore. I think the only place that sells the original Zoomer now is Kmart, and they're probably getting rid of him too, because they only have the 2.0s now, which are the three, Shadow, Bentley, and Zoomer 2.0. So, and they retailed for like $100, but then they went down to 90, 80, and then 70, so you can find them really cheap on eBay sometimes, but half the time they'll be broken. You'll want to be careful because it might have a broken leg if you buy it off eBay. I had to get him off eBay because this is when they were discontinued and no one knew if they were coming back. But I got a special one with a spot on his head, but the leg is broken now. See, a little. It can still roam, but there are some tricks it can't do, like it can't get back up, but it can still roam. But he never really roamed in general. He goes in circles because remember it's the old model that didn't roam good, like the newer ones. But that's everything about Boomer. There's not much to say about him because he just doesn't do much at the moment. I mean, they didn't finish him. Again, they didn't finish it. That's all I have to say about him. I mean, he's interesting for sure, and he definitely does make a good display. He looks really cool, and he is fun. I'm not saying that he's not fun. I'm not saying that he's not good. He's just, he doesn't do almost anything. But for the things he does do, it's good, but he still could have done more, and I think you guys would agree. Because it doesn't look like Boomer is quite as hot as Zoomer was, because I don't get as many views on Boomer as I did with Zoomer. So I don't think he's as popular, probably because he doesn't do very much. Because he was supposed to be much more interactive than this. And if you're wondering if any of these interact, no, Shadow does not interact with Zoomer. Boomer doesn't interact with any of them. They just have vision sensors. Interaction is through infrared sensors or signals, which they only use vision sensors. So that doesn't have interaction in it. So there's no interaction between sensors or vision sensors. There's only interaction between IR sensors that give signals. So, yeah. They don't interact. And if you wanted me to show you, I can show you. I don't want to show Shadow because I've tried it already and it didn't work. But also Shadow's batteries are dead. I have to charge him. Because when the Zoomers keep yawning, Shadow kept on yawning, and when the Zoomers yawn constantly, that means their batteries are low and they need charging. See, see, they don't interact at all. They just, like, in the Toy Fair videos, they said they don't, he even said that they don't truly interact, it's just through vision, but they don't even do that. See, they're just wandering and doing their own thing. And see, again, he doesn't roam, he just sits there. Look at Zoomer, how he roams. And he does avoid obstacles pretty well. Boomer, I just don't know what to say about him. Just, see, that's not a roam mode. This doesn't even have personality. He just has happy mode. He only gets curious when I put my hand in front of him, but when I take it away, he'll get happy again. I can push that and he'll go into the purple tracking mode, but he doesn't stay there. He gets happy again, so he doesn't have personality like he was supposed to. He only has green. So, I mean, that's when they say it's a realistic dinosaur. That's why I don't agree with it, because a real dinosaur would have more personality than that. Or it would have more of an angry personality, and they wouldn't be so noisy. You'd think they'd give him a volume control for all the noise he makes, because parents aren't going to want to listen to that. So yeah, I just don't know. But yeah, that's everything. I hope you liked this review. Comment if you have any questions. And I guess I'll see you in the next video.